According to Scheneger, there are 4 key principles that lay a foundation for communicating effectively with parents: transparency, honesty, accessibility, and flexibility. While Scheneger addresses the audience as the parents, I feel like this statement can hold true as well to my current community, which is college students. When communicating with the community, the plan would be to release the information in many fashions. Depending on the information that is being released, a traditional press release may be necessary to communicate the information to the general area, which would include your school community itself. Whether a press release is warranted or not, the next form of communication will be through technology. In respect to keeping with transparency, an email should be released directly to the school. If possible, this will be done prior to the press release that goes out to the media. Once the internal communication is done, social media information will be released. As before, depending on the information you will be releasing, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Snapchat may all come into play. The final part, which could be risen to the top, would be television media, and that would be dependent on whether it picks it up or not. The only difference with the communication public relations plan would be if external press was inquiring about an incident that was going to break in the media. In that case, whomever is called would direct all press inquiries to the communications department before any comment should be given. When it comes to using multiple platforms during a PR plan, we as school leaders have to remember that not everyone gets their information from one source. Not everyone reads the newspaper, and in some cases, the press release may not be picked up. As for social media, as well as sending emails, in this day and age of technology, we have to remember that not everyone chooses to spend their time on social media or even on their devices. In order to get the most impact and even disseminate the information, we have to take multiple routes to get there. Now, there are plenty of pros and cons to each component. For press releases, like I said before, not everyone reads the newspaper, and it isn't an instant turnaround to get the information out. However, there are still people that turn to the print media for their local information. Broadcast media may come into the equation if the story is big enough. Would they cover a bake sale? Maybe not, but if the story was big enough for the attention, they could. Social media apps such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat are other tools for communicating information. The downside of these tools is that not everyone uses them. So, if your job is to put information out there, it is best to be savvy in all these forms of communication because not everyone is signed up. I know personally, for me, I am not a fan of Twitter. I don't use it unless I have to. However, I do have access to it and will look for information. So what we have to remember is to use technology and release all the information in any form that we can to get our points across.